Hey all, Aaron Lee here with a quick guide on how movement works in relation to PVMing. On the surface, this sounds very basic. You click somewhere, you move there. You run, you move faster. However, under that surface, there's a lot more complexity that can make a lot of boss encounters dramatically easier and more enjoyable. The basic premise is that in nearly every situation, when you are moving, you skip over every other tile and essentially teleporting two tiles at one time. If you look under me, you'll see that I have a blue tile here. This is called my true tile, which is where the game registers that I actually am. And when I run, you can see that I am essentially jumping two tiles at a single time. If I go to this grid that I've created, you can see that when I stand on a red tile and move to the red tile, I will skip all of these yellow tiles and go straight just to red to red to red. If I stand in the center of this, I can reach every single tile in this grid, except for this one, in a single tick. And some of them seem obvious, moving horizontal or vertically. An awkward one, like one of these ones, often called a knight's move, because it's how knights move in chess. Again, can be done in a single tick. And movements like this are really strong in places like the Whisperer, where you're trying to avoid the attacks. Um, so there are many use cases for where this is useful, but the main ones are where things are on the floor or where something is coming at you that you can run over or run through. Some of the use cases of this are things like the tail slams from Huey Kotal. You have the shockwave to run over, running over the poison spats at Vorkarth, running through spikes at Mistha, running through the tornadoes at both CG and Theatre of Blood, running through waves at TOA, etc., etc. There are so many more, and it would take forever to list them all. So other than knowing the basics, I'm going to specifically show you on how movement and pathing works for both you and enemies, and use CG as an example of how you can abuse this. So when you move, your character will move as much horizontally or vertically as humanly possible, and then prioritize going diagonal at the last possible opportunity. Um, so as an example, let's say I want to move from here to this tile here. My character won't go diagonal and run across, or knight's move and run up. It will always go so much horizontal, much well, this is to the east. So much vertically, no, it's horizontal. Yeah, as much horizontal as possible, and then go over. However, if this is an odd number of tiles, it will go to one tile before and then do a knight's move type thing. So if I was to travel, say, 5 tiles, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and across, it will do a knight's move. So jump, jump, knight's move. Or if it's an even amount, so let's say 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll run 2 tiles east and then do one diagonal. Um, this is a super important skill to learn, in my personal opinion. If I was to say to click here, I know my character is going to run at least somewhat east and then run across, or maybe even do a knight's move, then run across. It will not immediately go across unless there's something obstructing it. So there, I've ran east a bunch and then ran diagonal. It's important to know because let's pretend, for example, there is something coming towards me from here. If I want to avoid, if I click over here, because this is more in this direction than in this direction, my character will actually run towards the thing rather than diagonal. Whereas if I just click over here somewhere, even though it is slightly more west, it will still prioritize this northern movement as opposed to coming into the target. Um, so in CG, for example, a big issue a lot of people have are the tornadoes that chase you. But here's a trick that I use. If we return to this grid that I've made, let's pretend you're against the wall here. Like here is the wall, this is the first row of tiles in, and these are all separate tornadoes. A trick that I use is that I like being in these type of situations because if I'm running alongside, they can never ever touch you. Ever. And the reason for this is that when you move at the same time, the enemy moves. So they essentially move in the same way you move and they act as if they've clicked you. If I'm standing here and I've clicked drawn over here, all at the same time, I move 2 tiles to here. So this is going to be my new real tile. We'll color this in pink just for red. No, not red, because I used red. This in a lighter blue to make this clearer. This is my new tile. This one here won't go diagonal first because it follows the same movement rules as we do. It'll move one tile north, whereas these three can get to me. And this one again follows the rule. It runs north. So I'll be here. this tornado here will be on this tile. These three will be on this tile, and this one here will be on this tile. So now I'm standing here. If I move again, this tornado will go to my current tile. The three that are here will move down, and this one here will again move down. But if I move, because I've moved at the same time as this one here, it is now on my old tile, but I move at the same time, so it hasn't hit me. So a good thing that I like using is, let's say I'm standing here and this red tile is a tornado. If I run 2 tiles, it's now one behind me. I then, let's say we move up here for the diagonal, it's then here. Its next movement will be across one. So I can either wait here for 1 tick or move at the same time and run across it. And based on the same rules as all of these, it can never hit me. If I'm standing here and the tornado's here, no matter what I do now, its next tile is this one here. If I run across, I'll be here, it'll be here. I'll run across, it'll come up to me. It just cannot hit you. So you could, in theory, if I'm standing here with a tornado, go across, up, and it can just never hit you, ever. It seems silly, but it totally works. Obviously diagonals are better, so going like to here, to here, to here is better, but whatever. There's a bunch of places where movement abilities are key and will make learning bosses and your experience at them once you've learned them a lot better and a lot easier. It's such an underrated skill, and in my opinion, a bit of knowledge which a lot of people just overlook. I think the best places to train this and to learn this and in like a real setting are obviously the Gauntlet, Volcano, and Huikotal. Things like Huikotal, if you are trying to do a solo kill, when that tail is smacking down, you have to run over the beam thing. Let's say with Huikotal, I know it's more of a curved thing, but let's pretend that these 3 tiles are the wave. I'm standing here. If I click to where it is, in one tick, it will move across 1. I'll move across 2. So now I'm here and it's here, meaning we've never actually interacted. So I've avoided all the damage by moving over it. And doing that repeatedly is what makes solo kills go from a massive pain to actually being pretty chilled out. Yeah, there's so many places this is useful, and I hope it helps you, and I hope that you enjoyed the guide, and I'll see you next time.